Thank you so much for joining us for another edition of All Angles. And as I said earlier, it's a double header for you on today's program. We're talking about two issues. One, the proposal to tax sugary drinks to try to combat obesity. That's later on in the program. First, so we're going to be talking about concerns which have been expressed about the state of the Mandela Highway as it relates to the safety of motorists. And let's go first to this overview by Giovanni Dennis.
Lack of lighting, inadequate road markings. Since construction began on the road widening project on the Mandela Highway in August 2016, TVJ has been highlighting issues of concern.
Since we began to highlight the safety breaches on the work site along Mandela Highway, which is operated by China Harbour, the employees have now been issued proper headgear. That includes the security guards who were never seen wearing proper headgear. The flag women have also got headgear and are wearing them. Some persons on the site are still without proper footwear. That includes water and safety boots.
Other concerns were realized last Monday night in the worst possible way. A market truck overturned, causing the deaths of 75-year-old Winston Powell, a farmer from Copperwood District in Clarendon, and 35-year-old Hubert Williams, a laborer from Chapelton District, also in Clarendon. It was supposed to be a regular trip to the market for the over 13 cane vendors on board this Leland truck transporting cane and other agricultural produce. But police say the driver of the truck, which was destined for Coronation Market in downtown Kingston from Clarendon, encountered difficulties and the truck overturned. 11 people were reported injured. The cause? A rainy night, a dark road, and a steep drop-off from the road into a ditch appeared to be at least some of the factors involved.
The driver did say that he was not able to properly assess where his front wheel was to the edge of the road, and because it was raining, we don't know if it was a matter of visibility. We are not certain whether or not he was distracted in any way, so the investigation is on in earnest as to exactly what might have caused the situation.
The police raised other concerns.
I have been advised that we have other vehicles that have overturned here before, but in addition to that, I'll be speaking to both the NWA and the Chinese who are constructing this roadway to put illuminated materials to the side of the road so as to guide motorists when they come in this vicinity. If you look around, there are no street lights and there are no dividing line on the roadway to guide them. So that will be welcome to have those additional reflected material.
We're currently standing on the Mandela Highway just across the road from where an accident happened last Monday night, where a market truck carrying 13 persons overturned, leaving 2 dead. Now, apart from 3 reflective cones placed in the immediate environs where the accident happened, nothing else has changed on the roadway. The road is still without street lights and proper markings and signage. Are these 3 cones enough to prevent another such tragedy? And what about the unmarked areas where there are no cones? Giovanni Dennis for All Angles.
Thank you so much, Giovanni. We also asked people on social media if they had concerns about the state of the road. Patrice Simmons says it's way too dark. It's like an obstacle course. Callie Smith says yes, concerns. The roadway is very dark. Some serious bumps along the stretch leading out of Kingston before reaching the turnoff to the toll road. Sigh, when will it end? And Franco Weller says westbound is an obstacle course day and night at peak traffic. Major delays backing up. As far as Boulevard, depending on day of the week, this can last several hours. Such was the case yesterday. Well, after 7 p.m., the rains only make it worse. I really expect better. Joining me in this segment of the program, we have Stephen Shaw of the National Works Agency, Communications Manager, and we also have Senior Superintendent of Police Calvin Allen, who heads the Police Highway and Traffic Division. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming in. And SSP, let me throw straight to you first of all. Talk straight for me. Is this road dangerous as it now stands?
Well, let me start by saying, let me respond this way. That
Why that sound like you start going around corner already?
No, I'm not going around any corner. I'm really a straight talker. Right, I have a dialogue with my colleague here, Stephen Shaw.
But you see, anytime when people say, let me respond in this way,
right,
I smell spin coming.
No spin
no
at
spin.
all, because I really don't take safety for granted.
Okay. And two men have
died.
Right,
and when you talk about 2 persons died, in fact, I stopped there the following day. I visited the scene, and one of the elderly lady that was injured was right there sitting on one of her market bags with her hand at her jaw, and I must say I felt it for her, because
yes,
that very market basket schooled me. So I am quite aware of the tragedy that took place for those persons to have spent their funds to acquire some produce to go and make a better living.
Yes.
And what was the eventualities of the situation. So it is a serious situation, and I believe that whilst the construction is taking place, there needs to be that sort of a lighting. Whatever temporary lighting needs to be put up there, something needs to happen that will create for better visibility, especially during the nighttime. And for that left side of the road, in the eastbound flow, the dialogue continues with my colleague here, Stephen Shaw, as to what else, in addition to those 3 reflector cones that have been put up there. Something else needs to happen in order to ensure that we don't have a repeat of what transpired last week.
Had that conversation, the dialogue you say has been taking place between you and Works Agency, had that dialogue started prior to the accident last week? I mean, had you raised concerns before?
We have raised concern, not directly as it relates to that particular spot,
right,
but more so there was a greater focus as it relates to the road surface, the potholes, because we have been getting some beating with regards to traffic flow, but in essence, and we are seeing that the rain continues. There are several potholes along some of the critical corridors, and it really hampers the flow of traffic. I understand clearly the stress on this train that Stephen is under when you look at Portland and the other areas. But at the same time, these are some issues that are right at our doorstep, and we have to see how best we can treat with them.
Yeah, stress and strain, Stephen Shaw, but sorry, go. We have as well Andre on Facebook saying it's a big concern, no lights every kilometers, potholes, open trenches, no signs to give instructions or signs to drive you. The road looks very confusing if you're not a regular driver of the route. And I went out there when Giovanni did that report. I was out there as well Monday night we went, and the road is dark. Why can't more be done to make that stretch safe?
All right, thanks for having me there. We accept that sections of the corridor are in fact dark. That section of the road,
deny that,
no, we accept it. That section of the road, when we started the detours and the construction activities, we actually erected lights out there. Street lamps were placed along the road. Within a week or so of us placing them and commissioning them into service, 11 of them were stolen. Somebody went out there, climbed the poles, and removed the street lamps. Now, we have replaced some, but I'll accept that not all had been replaced. We have put what we normally put along roads to assist in the illumination. The raised pavement markers, cat's eyes that you see, those are the reflectors down the middle of the road, yes, delineating the left lane from the right lane. We have those. We also have the tapes, reflective tapes, that have been placed on the barriers to the side. Yes, and I saw the evidence of that just now in the video clip.
No, you don't even know what I say yet. Get ready.
No, I'm just saying, I saw the evidence of that. How those work, once you have proper lighting on your vehicle, once those headlights hit those reflectors, they give you a pretty reasonable idea as to where you are and insofar as the lanes are concerned. So we have to be, that's why I've said, we have to be careful in coming to a conclusion or making statements as it relates to, yes, you know, 2 persons died, very unfortunate, very sad that 2 persons died. But as to what contributed to this accident taking place, there are many things outside of the road being dark that could have contributed. I want to also add, Dion, that we are not talking about a section of road that is winding. You're on a straight bit of road, fairly wide, and so you don't expect that persons are going to be, you know, ordinarily driving over the edge of a road, which is straight, fairly wide, and you have reflectors on it.
I don't even know where to start. There's so much there to start on. But I'm nearly at break, so let us go to break. And when we come back as well, we'll continue with this. Remember, we're talking about the proposed tax on sugary drinks later on in the program as well. And you can tweet us or hashtag is TVJ all angles. We're going to come back right after this, so stay with us.